The Raider is one of the most beginner-friendly classes, in my opinion, in Elden Ring Nightreign. So if you do want a melee-based attacker that's pretty easy to pick up and just use, then the Raider probably is for you. So let's go over it. We'll go over weapons, attributes, how to play, ultimate skills, and a few little tips and tricks on things you can do to make it a bit more powerful. So the Raider is a character that, if we check out the preferences in the codex, focuses on great axes, great hammers, and colossal weapons. Now with the Raider, depending on how you like playing your Elden Ring games, you could just solo it two-handed, you could go with, great axe and a shield if you choose to, or you could dual wield your great axes, great hammers, and colossal weapons. So there's sort of 3 different playstyles you can go with. Me personally, I like just two-handing one weapon, because I do think the stamina runs out really quickly, but if you want to dual wield and jump attacks and all that sort of stuff, then this is the class for you. If we look at the attributes, the Raider has an A for HP and an A for stamina. If we check out the other melee based ones, we got the stamina and HP with the Guardian, which is just a bit better. Wilder, we got an A and a B, and the Executor, B and a B. So really the Raider is sort of that second tier of being able to tank and deal damage. It's more of a DPS than, say, the Guardian, for example, as you can see with the S for health and the A for stamina. But it is just focused on mainly just sitting there doing your low and heavy attacks. FP being a D does mean that you can't really do as many skills as possible. If you wanted to, then you're probably going to equip relics and things that will increase your FP regeneration or even your FP bar even further. But in my opinion, I feel like there are better relics and stuff you can go with that will just focus on like your DPS, on certain damage types, even your health and stamina. Now the Raider has a really cool ability called Retaliate. Well, to do this, it is very simply just a punch. That's all it is. But what's awesome about this is when you activate it, and considering it's got a fairly low cooldown, you can do this pretty often. And when you do, you will have a lot of damage negation. So what this means is, this is awesome for a boss fight where you don't really know the attack pattern, or if you're kind of swarmed by enemies, then Retaliate can be really good at not only does it deal a lot of damage, that upscales with your player level really, really well, but you will also, if we animate this quick, pump out more damage. So for example, if we take this, you'll see we've got a lot of resolve now. That's our passive. And then if we retaliate, there you go, you see we hit very hard. We can also, if we just circle around, you'll see just how quickly stamina can run out. We can only do about 3-ish attacks and then our stamina is empty. So if you end up in a situation where you do 2 attacks and then a boss hits you, you will feel it. But again, if we get our Retaliate going, you'll see we can just poise through so much with the damage negation, and then you can set up a nice little backstab like this, and then you can set yourself up for a big R2 attack, just like that. So Retaliate is not only good for the damage negation, and then a strike like that, it's really good at setting up your next move. Now when it comes to your ultimate skill, the Totem Stellar is a really cool ability. As you can see here, you will sort of slam into the ground, and a totem will rise from it. Now this totem itself can do AoE damage, but when it's stationary, you and any teammates who are near it will receive a 15% increase to attack power for a small amount of time. You can also use this to your advantage for other situational things, such as what I did here, to help me res an ally. The only downside to this is that the totem itself can be a little janky, and if you place it in a really inopportune area, you can cut off line of sight to your ranged based characters such as Iron Eye. So pick and choose when you use this. It is very good in a boss fight, just make sure you don't hinder your teammates. Now, as I said previously, this is a melee based character, And when it comes to having a weapon, I do think that having weapons with stats effects, such as the Rotted Great Axe you can see here, adds a huge advantage to the raider. And then to coincide with that, because your stamina does run out pretty quickly because of the heavy weapons you're using, or if you need to dodge and then try and attack, sometimes when you defeat a boss, I do think it's worth, instead of taking an item, taking the buffs that will actually increase your stamina. Whether it's like the stamina pool itself, or what I think is the most important is stamina regeneration. The quicker your stamina regenerates, the quicker you can dodge. You'll be able to poise through more attacks, and more importantly, you can pump out more attacks. So you won't have to worry too much about running out of stamina and then getting hit by an enemy, or only being able to do like 1 or 2 attacks. More stamina regen means you'll be able to pump out more and more attacks, and this can really allow you to hit enemies as hard as possible, involves doing things such as this to enemies, as you can see here. Now when it comes to other relics, the raider has 3 slots, as you all know, available at the start. 1 red and 2 greens. Now bear in mind, this means you won't be able to equip yellow for now, but this is another thing to really focus on. For example, in my slot here, I've put in taking attacks improves attack power. Because we're going to be melee focused, we can take an attack and we're going to deal out more damage, and that's kind of what we want. We want to be that tank that can take the hits because we've got such a good health pool. We've got really good poise, so we can also take those hits, and then we'll pump out even more damage thanks to our abilities. There's also other things you could equip. For example, if you just want to focus on your health, you could take something that will improve your vigor +2. You are going to lose out on things like improved Thorn Sorcery if you went down this route, but again, bigger health pool, tanking the battlefield. So it really depends on how you play the game. If you have, other characters like you like using Iron Eye, then you might want to think twice. But if you really just want to focus on one class, and that is the raider, then pick and choose your relics as you get them, and don't really worry about the others. So overall, the raider is an incredible class to choose. It's the one that I found definitely the most beginner friendly, like I said. If you do, for example, I'm a big 2-handed weapon guy, like that's how I played Dark Souls, it's how I played a lot of the original Elden Ring, then this probably is the build for you. If you love dual wielding 2-handed weapons, you can do so, and you can get a lot of really nice effects from this, as well as skills that you can sort of do a mini build around it per se while you're in the game. So I really hope this guide to the raider has helped. If it has, let me know in the comments below, and let me know what your favourite class to play as in Elden Ring Nightreign is. How are you finding the game? Are you a fan? Not a fan? Let me know. If you're ready, please drop the video a like and subscribe to the channel for more. I've got more guides to other amazing RPGs like Oblivion, Elden Ring, Dragon Age, Path of Exile, Expedition 33, basically all the amazing RPGs you could ever need. And hopefully, I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.